The last two things we're going to talk about on the chapter are stock dividends and stock splits. These don't actually involve any cash, but they do send signals to shareholders. Okay, so let's start with the stock dividend first. You don't see them very often because they're somewhat meaningless and not exactly helpful to shareholders. What it is, as it sounds, it's a dividend that is paid with stocks. Okay, so it's not paid with cash. They give you shares instead. This is not a stock split. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, a stock split is a positive signal. This is usually negative. And here's an example of why. So let's suppose you have a company with 2 million shares outstanding at $15 per share. And therefore, we're going to say that the value of the equity of this company is equal to 2 million times $15 a share, or 30 million. Now, if they do a 20% stock dividend, it sounds pretty good. You're saying you're going to get a whole bunch of shares, but really nothing's happening. If anything, something bad is happening. So we're going to see that the new number of shares is equal to 1.2, so 20% more than the 2 million that were originally outstanding. So it's 2.4 million. And what's the new share price? Nothing has changed in the value of the company, so it's still 30 million. And divided by a number of shares, which is 2.4 million. So the new share price is $12.50. Okay, so it's a lower share price because it's not $15 anymore, because there's more shares outstanding. So if you had 10 shares before, they'd be worth the same in total when you multiply them out at the new price. Why is this a bad signal? The problem is that a stock dividend is taxable. So unlike a cash dividend, which is also taxable, you've got some cash, you can use that to pay the tax. The stock dividend, you really got nothing. You just got more shares. It's like changing a $10 bill for two $5 bills. But now you got taxed on that transaction. So it's actually very detrimental. Why would a company ever do that? No real good financial reason other than they can't pay the cash dividend. They don't want to say that. So they just say, here you go. Here's something even better than cash. It's shares of our company. And you find out later that you're actually going to be punished for that. Okay, so the other thing that is actually a positive signal is a stock split. It's similar to stock dividend, but not really, because what it is it's a restructuring essentially of the whole scenario. Stock dividends usually are like 20% or 30%. This would be issuing a large number. So for the easiest way to explain is, let's just do an example. Shares of a company are $100 per share. And you have 2 shares. Okay. What do? They do a, let's say they do a 2-for-1 split. Therefore, each share you owned, you get 2. Now you own 4 shares. Company value is still the same, so the share price has to fall. So what was $100 a share, you divide it by the 2. So it's $50 per share. Okay, so if you look at the total, you now have 4 shares at $50 per share. $200. Okay? And that's exactly what you started with. 2 shares at $100 each. It's $200. Nothing changed. Why is this a positive signal? Essentially because what management is saying is that the share price will keep increasing. Okay, so management may have a decision that for whatever reason they want to target share price range of maybe like $50 to $100 a share. Now it's gone to 100. If you think it was just a lucky move, you wouldn't do anything. But if you think it's just going to keep going up to 120, 140, then you split the shares to bring it back down. And although it creates no real value, it's also like 2 $5 bills for a $10 bill. It does send the signal that management is doing this because they're thinking long term about the company and that it's going to keep growing beyond the share range that they want to be in.